What I would say, Brazilians, yeah, but immigrants, a lot of immigrants. That's my audience. That's the people who actually identify with what I'm doing, which is something that I'm trying to run away from right now, creatively. And I've been thinking about it a lot, because my first show was very like fish out of water, which I would say is your first instinct when you're an immigrant comedian coming here, is watching everything with a perspective of like, I'm an immigrant and things are weird. Let me point out the weird things. And in Brazil, for years, I was talking about myself, my life, my kid, my wife, my dog, my dad, my father. And I feel like my first show was very like me with this outside perspective of America. This show that I did here, I already have like a good 50-60% of the show, which is about my father, about the internet, about technology, about my kid, about marrying a younger woman. I'm trying to go that more. Probably I won't have the same appeal with my people, but I don't want to be the immigrant for the rest of my life. I am an immigrant. I'm proud to be an immigrant, but I don't want to be the guy who you go for just for this look specifically,
Yeah.
But I still have the comfort zone. I have those jokes that work with my people, but I'm trying to to balance a little, so I'm not just this extraterrestrial who landed here and is pointing fingers at everything. I want them to know me a little more.
Oh, that's so interesting. Was in comedy in Brazil, it sounds like it was very autobiographical.
Yeah, a lot.
So
yeah.
Was there much of a difference with the audiences here? Like, you just had to figure out how to do these things in English, but like, was the sensibility kind of similar?
Well, what I would say is that I'm being personal recently. I'm writing more things personal recently. My first whole hour, I would say almost whole hour, it's me writing about things I see here. Well, I actually never translated a lot of my material. I wrote, one of the reasons why I moved here was to be creative. I want to write things in America. I want to put myself in another reality and be able to be creative. That's why I moved here. I could translate a lot of the jokes. And some of them I did, and I just posted on Instagram. I use a lot of my old material for clips.
Right. Okay.
So I memorized like a 1 minute of an old joke in Brazil. I was like, I'm talking about my cell phone here. Oh, I could translate. This could be a clip. And then I go as the seller, I record it and I post it. It's not part of the hour, but I do that a lot. But I feel like in the beginning was a lot of me just pointing fingers, like pointing and saying, oh, look at this. You guys are, your commercials, your medication commercials, because everybody's happy medication. People are dying. Those people are like have AIDS. People have AIDS and they're dancing in commercials. Yeah. So this is me like looking how things are weird. And even Americans, it's not only immigrants who like this. Even Americans, I can see they're so used to those things that they don't see them anymore. So when I come and I point, oh, this is weird. You guys shoot guns for fun. It's weird. It's me. But now I want more of I want them to know where I'm living, what's the moment that I'm living in my life. I'm trying to balance this.
Yeah, I think that's good for young comics starting out, is to try to tap into that stuff early and not try to think of like, oh, what's the silly turn or whatnot, but think about, well, what is unique about me or my point of view, and how can I find humor in that? And I feel like that's when you start to connect with that authenticity.
I think, it's crazy, right? Because we are living in this moment where people are celebrating all the storytellers, I feel like people are celebrating guys like Chappelle and people who actually talk about their lives and their perspective about reality and life. But also I like the observational. I'm a huge Jim Gaston fan. I think he's amazing. He should be celebrated much more than he is, because now it's this moment where people like to see, but who is this guy? What is he thinking?
Right.
And I feel it's so unfair. Seinfeld is a genius. Yeah, he has been doing a lot of the same material for a long time, but whatever. It's pieces of art that guy has, you know? So I think there is a little bit of both, you know?
That's true. There is no should. I mean, comedy.
There is no should.
It's whatever you want, really.
I just think that your perspective, even if it's not about your life,
Right.
can be unique. And you can be creative in things that other people even already talked about. As long as it's you looking at that thing, you know? It's difficult to be unique. And it takes time. I think like I've heard that when George Carlin, like 3 years before George Carlin died, he was like, I feel like I'm getting right now. I think I know who I am. Right. I was like, bro, that guy with that many specials and a huge career at 7 years old, he was like, hey, I think I'm starting to figure out who I am. So it takes time, you know?
Yeah.